Hello friends and welcome. I figured I would chat with you guys about the pallet and how it performed as I pack up the orders for the celebration auction I did over on Whatnot, as a way to say thank you and as a way to be like, I finished! Because I have run all of the books from that pallet at least once. And I wanted to chat a little bit with you guys as I packaged up these orders about my experience doing my first, I guess, bit of baby bulk. I mean, I know I have done other auctions before, or I have done other bulk buys before where I've gone to a big warehouse and bought a bunch of books. And I have done auctions where I have, managed to come across a bookstore going out of business. But this is my first time being sent a literal pallet, so I thought I would go over that with you. So these are books which, unlike all of the other baby bulks that I just mentioned, I did not pick. So this was a pallet that was sent to me by someone I met at the Books and Beyond conference, and I will forever be grateful that I went to that one, because Joji and Victor were absolutely delightful, and I had a very good experience being there, not just because I made a connection and this amazing source, but because overall it was a great experience while I was there. It just was unfortunate that it triggered a massive depressive episode that lasted for like 6 months. So I can't do that again, at least as long as they're going to continue to hold that conference in Vegas. It was still, if you're not someone who has autism and ADHD, and going to Vegas sounds like an amazing thing to you, by all means, please go to that convention. It was, especially if you're wanting to learn more about book selling, especially if you're wanting to learn how to do Amazon FBA, that is a great convention to go to. They just wrapped up their second one. So unfortunately, as of the time this video goes out, you can't really go, but you can go to the next one when they have it. But I was able to make this connection there. If you're wondering why there was a jump cut there, it was just because I personally, when I watch shipping videos, I hate the tape sound. I hate the tape sound in real life, but I have to, have the tape sound in real life in order to actually do stuff. So this is how I ship books, by the way, and the books that I am packing right now are all books that they're brand new science fiction masterworks. Again, these are not part of the pallet. They were books that I acquired because I know that the audience that I have over on Whatnot, because these are UK imports, I have a source for these. They will all sell, and they did. All of the ones that I acquired all sold, and that's what I'm shipping right now. So let's talk about the pallet. I was sent 350 pounds of books, which is a lot. The person that I got all the books from, I made them very happy, or at least that's what they told me. Hopefully that hasn't changed. But it was 350 pounds of books. They were almost all of them were vintage science fiction and fantasy books. Some of them were vintage mystery books that I don't really have a whole lot of experience with or interest in, because that's not a genre that I enjoy reading. But honestly, opening up 350 pounds of books, many of which I have never seen out in the wild. A lot of the books were books that I have been hoping to see out in the wild. One, because I wanted to acquire them for myself, and that is why I'm so grateful for this opportunity, because of the fact that I am a bookseller and I have access to other books. What I decided to do with this pallet, and the person I commissioned this pallet from said it was okay to do this, was the books that I wanted to keep from the pallet. I ended up putting other books that I had in my inventory for sale to offset those, so that way because I did sell this entire pallet on commission. I'm not going to go in what the commission percentage was because that's between us. The first month, he said that I paid him back the cost of shipping the books to me plus more. And these are vintage science fiction and fantasy books, which don't fit into the majority of his business model as a bulk Amazon seller. So a lot of these books he would try to sell on his own, I'm guessing, or would go into his brick and mortar store. So as someone with a bulk Amazon and eBay business, with his business model, a lot of the modern fiction actually goes up for sale in his brick and mortar store. And I would say maybe 20% of the books that were in this pallet that he sent me were books that had his sticker on it. So that were labeled for sale, that he tried to sell in his brick and mortar store. So they didn't sell in his brick and mortar store, but they sold for me because I have created a client list over on Whatnot and on my BookTube channel that specifically want these books. So he said he was very happy with this relationship, so much so that he sent me a second pallet, which is already here, and I am already in the process of sorting through to do even more shows, which is perfect because it's Christmas time. So great timing all the way around. Now, obviously, I liked doing this so much that I'm willing to do it again, and I'm honestly willing to do this as long as he's willing to send me books. As long as this relationship continues to work for him, I am willing to continue doing this again, because this is, I saw books I never in a million years dreamed that I would get to put my hands on or see in person, and I geeked out for a solid like 3 days, and then until like the labor of how much labor I was going to have to do with it set in. And then it wasn't so much like, oh my God, this is like Christmas every day, to like, okay, yeah, this is actually work. But I still loved it because I sold, just in my Whatnot auctions, over 400 books. So, you know, these are paperback novels that typically would end up in a landfill because most people don't see value in them or find value in them, that do eBay reselling. Also because like they don't have barcodes, so a lot of people don't know the value or hold them in high value. And again, I would like to say that not a whole lot of these books actually sold for a whole lot. So it's books like these, like the small little paperbacks that have no barcode on them, that have no barcode on side of them because they're too old. These are books that didn't sell from the pallet, the first pallet I got. And you can see here that these two still have labels and stickers on them. They're 2 gore novels. And that's because they have like his bookstore sticker on them. And you're like, well, they didn't sell for him, they didn't sell for you. That's because I had multiple copies of these. So that's why, like, I did sell this book, but, you know, if I have 3 or 4 copies of it, I'm only going to sell it but so many times. So that's why I still have them. And these books didn't sell for a whole lot of money, but again, for those of you that have been here for a while, know that part of the reason why I'm selling these books is because I love them. I love books. I mean, my whole half sleeve here is just books. Eventually I will have a whole sleeve of just book covers because books have always been very important to me in my life. I love them. I am an avid reader when I have time and can make my brain shut up enough so where I can do that. And I listen to a lot of audiobooks when I work because, again, I love books. So there is that, the fact that I am reselling these books to other people that love books. And I am saving a bunch of books from the landfill. I am maintaining a valuable connection and friendship with someone, and I'm making money. So I would say that I did sell over 400 books through Whatnot and eBay. I have still about 180 books listed on Whatnot. And you're like, what do you mean you have 180 books listed on Whatnot? So because I have this second pallet, and I've already done the work to list all those books, I'm just keeping them up until I have no more pallets to run, or no more books to run, no more new books to add to basically my Whatnot store at this point. I'm using those books as like a running inventory because of the fact that I am continuing to I'm going to be making a bunch of new haul videos on my BookTube channel with completely different books. So more people are going to be coming into those shows that I make for each one of those hauls. So each one of those hauls is going to be a new show, and I'm just going to keep importing the stuff that didn't sell for the last show into it. And so I'm just going to have like an ever-increasing inventory of books that people can bid on if they find my BookTube channel and are like, oh my gosh, look at all these other books that she has listed besides the ones that she showed in the video. I want those because with Whatnot, it's all media mail shipping. So if they buy a book, like these are just little paperbacks, it's going to be like $4.75. And if they buy another book, depending on the weight, it could be free or for shipping, or it could just be another 75 cents. So there were a lot of books that I ran. I would have a book that didn't sell the first show I put it in, and in that video, but then 5 shows later, you know, it did sell. Like all of the book, like a whole bunch from the same author would sell. So I realized very early on that just continuing to carry that inventory over, which on Whatnot you can, I can just say clone items from the last show, and it'll clone all the items from the show that didn't sell and put them in the new show. And then people that maybe didn't get an opportunity to go to that show because it's a live Whatnot auction, be like, oh, I missed out. Be like, oh, wait, no, I didn't. I can make this next show. And oh, that book that I wanted from that other video is still there, so I can buy it. So I sold over 400 books, and I have about 180 books still listed on Whatnot that haven't sold yet. And that's the way I'm going to say that, is I haven't sold them yet. It doesn't mean that they're not going to sell. It just means that they haven't sold yet. You know, I've talked about before how I ship books. My shipping supplies are mostly free, as you can tell. I'm using, even though all these books sold on Whatnot, I'm still using my eBay tape because who cares what tape you use? And I'm wrapping these books in a cardboard box that was given to me for free by my aunt. So, and then I put these in a free poly mailer that I either get from using my Amazon points from my Amazon rewards card, or I will put the shipping label, cover up the eBay logo from the eBay poly mailers that I get for free from having an eBay store. The shipping cost is negligible, but this is how I ship some books. I also, you know, because I get a free coupon every quarter, will use either free boxes given to me by my friends and family, or ship them in the eBay boxes. Sometimes I cover up the eBay thing, and sometimes I don't. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. No one cares what box it comes in as long as it arrives to them safe and in the condition that they bought it in. So you're probably wondering, all right, cool, you sold 400 books. Good for you. Did you make any money? Yes, I have made a little over $1,000 now off of free books. So yes, I am still reselling. I'm just reselling quietly. I'm not making videos. And if you're wondering why I haven't been making videos, it's just life stuff. This has been not a great year for me. I started off this year still in my depression. Still in my deep depression. I've had some IRL stuff out of my control that has happened that I'm not going to talk about because I'll get very upset. You can't really do anything about it. So for those of you that have, cheered me on and given me your condolences, I appreciate that. All the stuff that has affected me negatively is stuff that I don't have any control over in my life. So I have just been kind of going day to day like you do when things go out of your hands, right? Or at least I do. I just keep working and keep trying to do my best, which is the only thing I can control is me. And unfortunately, that means less videos for you guys on this channel. Not because I'm not still reselling. I still very much am. I'm just not doing it as publicly. And for that, I am sorry. I do know that I have neglected this channel. And for those of you that have been watching me for what, 5-6 years now, I do feel a sense of guilt for not continuing to upload as I was. And I do want to say I haven't forgotten about you guys. I honestly haven't. I get like, I should make a video, and then I'm like, what am I going to film? I don't know, what am I going to film? Which is why I was like, you know what? I finally finished this palette. I did want to make this video. I'll do this. So, and I don't want to make what sold videos like I was doing because I hate editing those. And life's hard enough as it is. I don't want to do something I hate. So I don't hate reselling, okay? I don't hate making videos. I don't know what to make videos about because I'm not shopping. Like, I have so much inventory. And you're like, well, make videos about you going through your inventory. Okay. My house, because of stuff, like I said, is out of my control, is not really in a shape to film in. Why do you think I'm sitting on my floor in a corner? This is like the only place really I could film. Where I'm trying to get the house into a way that I can film in it again, but there's other life stuff going on. I just can't express to y'all how much the life stuff is hindering everything else. So I'm just going to apologize for not making more videos. I'm going to continue to try to promise you guys that I will figure things out so I can make regular content on this channel again, but it's probably going to take a while. So if you're not interested, you know, I've never been one of those YouTubers that have ever told people to like and subscribe. YouTube has been around for 20 years now. I figured most people know how to use YouTube at this point. And I definitely don't make content for children. So y'all know how YouTube works. So I understand those of you that have subscribed at this point don't want to because, you know, I'm not making the content you came here for. You're welcome to unsubscribe. I understand. I get it. My feelings will not be hurt. I find it very weird that I didn't upload for 6 weeks and suddenly I have 6,000 subscribers. It's like, all right, I don't do stuff and I get more subscribers than when I do stuff. That's odd. Maybe that's YouTube trying to like, be like, hey, remember this thing that you'd uploaded on? Maybe you should do it again. I did just want to say thank you guys for those of you that are still here. I appreciate y'all. But if you don't want to be here anymore, I understand. So I've wrapped everything up, and I guess the summary is I'm really glad this palette was sent to me. I got to experience books, and I'm continuing to experience books because he sent me another palette that I would not be able to find out in the wild. The fact that I was basically sent, you know, over 600 books, a lot of them I've never been able to see in real life, and be able to find all of those books, or hopefully we'll find all those books new homes. The fact that I made $1,000 off stuff that I didn't have to buy or pick. The fact that I've made him happy. And the fact that I've got to keep a bunch of books for myself. And the other thing is that because I was making regular content on my book channel, even if it was like just book haul content, you know, my book channel grew, and I made like $50 alone just off of the haul videos, and that's a very small book channel. So that's crazy to me that I made $50 just showing the books because I did it on YouTube, which is also very nice. You know, I think it's great. And then I grew my channel some more. I do need to, you know, make a bunch of review content on that channel because I've been reading books, but all I have time to is to show the books, list the books, do the show. So there's that. So again, if you want to see more of me, my other channels are linked down below. Like I said, I am still reselling. I just have so much death pile. So much death pile. Moxie, of course, is still here and kicking. Hello. She's still here, still wanting to be near me, on me, around me. She is still my old lady fur baby. She is old now. She's at least 14 because that's how long I've had her. I adopted her as an older kitty from the shelter, for those of you that don't know the Moxie lore. I adopted her, but I was not the one that picked her out. The person I was with at the time was the one that picked her out. And then when we were no longer together, he just left her with me. So she is not the cat that I chose, but the cat that chose me. So I have tried my best to give her the best life possible. Considering she's 14 and still kicking, I feel like I've done a good job. Still likes me, as you can tell. I'm going to go downstairs now and put these in the poly mailer and put the labels and ship them off. You know, they have their little sticky note for who bought what, so I don't get confused, which is how I keep track of things on Whatnot. Thank you guys for listening to me talk as I box some stuff up. Again, made $1,000 on a pallet of books, some of which would have ended up in the landfill. I didn't have to do anything other than the labor that I put into listing the books not only made me money, but also grew my booktube channel and gave me access to books that I wouldn't have access to before. So overall, I am extremely grateful and thankful and very happy, and I'm so glad I get to do this again, and will hopefully continue to do it multiple times. It is a lot of work. If that's not something that you want, don't do it. I cannot tell you how to get a commission deal yourself. I was surprised that he approached me about this, and grateful. So I guess just put yourself in situations, networking situations like the Books and Beyond conference, where you can build connections like this. Tell people what you do. I've been telling you that since the beginning. Tell people what you do. You'll find you'll be surprised at how many people will give you free stuff. Again, this is all free to me. But thank you guys so much for watching if you're still here, and I will hopefully see you in the next one, and there'll be a next one. Bye.